Hey everybody, it's Coach Jess from FillYourBooks.com. I'm here with one of our amazing students who's in her second month with us, and she's already had so many wins, and we just wanted to share her story and kind of highlight her experience within the program with us. So I'm going to let Megan kick it off. Megan, tell us a little bit about where you're from, how long you've been in the industry, a little bit about you.
Okay, so I've been in the industry for about 5 years now. And I live on Maui in Hawaii. I started Fill Your Books just because I wanted to make more money, like anybody does. I wanted to be busier. I knew I had the skill set. I just didn't know how to reach the clientele that I wanted. So enter Fill Your Books. And it's been crazy. Like I was just saying to Jess this morning, I wake up every day with so many responses to my ads all throughout the day. I'm constantly booking people, having consultations. I actually even helped one of my stylists with her trying to help her out with booking. And cause she even asked me about Fill Your Books because she had seen the advertisements, and I told her like 100% you need to do it. And I just gave her like a piece of what I've learned, and that's already helped her so much. So it's such an amazing program. I'm so grateful for it. It's crazy that it's one of those things that actually works, because like you see things all the time that say they're going to help you or help you get booked or help you get busy, and this actually does it. And it's great. I'm forever thankful for it. It's fun. I'm hitting my goals already, which is insane to me. Like I said, when I came into this, my goal was to really have $1,000 days, and I'm hitting those already in my 3-month period, which I think is just insane. So
It is so insane. And can I just add that when we first had our kickoff call together, your feeling about social media was that it was fruitless.
yeah.
Do you remember saying that?
Yeah. I was not big on social media, and I didn't want to have to push it. And honestly, it's crazy to me how much I get through Facebook alone. Here, I thought Facebook was like a dying off thing, and I thought Instagram was where it's at. But I want to say like 75% of my new clients I'm pulling from Facebook, which is crazy. So it just goes to show you don't know what you don't know. And I don't know why I thought anything different. So yeah, and now I love social media.
I know. Now you've been able to stay more consistent with it, whereas before you're like, I'm not religious with it. Like, I don't think it's for me. And here you are, like, now that you have a system, did that kind of like change things for you where you could just,
Oh, totally. Totally. Because it taught me how to use social media to my advantage. Whereas before I was just doing it blindly. I was like anybody else, like boosting a post, which did nothing for me, or I just didn't have the tools to use it properly. And now that I have it, I like it because I enjoy it, and I see the benefits from it. So yeah, I'm thankful for that too.
How has like the other parts of, because oftentimes we get results, right? But we also have a little bit more of a shift within us as well. Did you have any of those like aha moments and takeaways where you were able to grow kind of outside of just like business?
Yeah, I feel like this has made me more like, I don't know how to word it, but more like responsible for my actions. Like I feel like I'm more business focused now than I ever was. I feel like I was just a little bit more laid back. And so I feel a difference around like my whole life with that in general, with more taking like accountability and like showing up more for things instead of just, oh, it will happen on its own. Or, I feel like that's shifted in my life in general, just showing up for myself, and for like my family and my friends. And I feel really good about that. I feel better about myself with all of this. And even like the daily affirmations that we start off with at the beginning of the program, I still do them. I open my mirror in my bathroom and I read it every day, and it still helps me. And those affirmations change, and just little things like that have really helped me within my personal life as well, for sure.
Yeah. And sometimes like consistency as well, just like being able to work that in and setting for you, like I feel like it was like intention, right?
Yeah.
You were more intentional with the affirmations, like because that's our language and we live into our language, and that helps affect our beliefs. And like then you were more intentional with your process, right? So then there was more meaning behind it. It was easier to stick to. And like when things are easier to stick to, like we're more likely to do them. And when we're more likely to do them, we have more consistency. And then when we have that consistency, we have that growth. So I feel like for you, what I've seen is like this shift from like, and I'm sure on our first call when you're like, yeah, social media is not my thing. And I was like, it's not fruitful. I was like, Okay. I can't wait to show you.
You're
And
like,
have
I
your
can't
world
wait for
open
it.
up.
Yeah, it's so true. Oh my God. Yeah. I have a
Yeah.
completely different outlook on it now for sure.
No, and I love that. And I feel like too, it's it kind of like radiates from you. I was even like, I was looking at you today, and it's definitely, you have a different glow and a different energy than when we first talked. And I know with you being in Hawaii, it's been like a few weeks since we've connected, but I
Yeah.
can see that transition just like within like how you're feeling, because now it's like you're booked out, right? Like
Yeah.
every Saturday you're booked
Yeah. Oh
out.
my God. Yeah. It's a little overwhelming, but in a good way, in a great way. Like I'm very, very thankful for it. But yeah, it's crazy how it's
And
going.
now you have like this newfound confidence too, which, because now it's like we got to this point where it's like, okay, now we have the clients. Now it's like, we're having to challenge ourselves in new ways to be like, now how do I manage this? Like, now
Yeah.
what's next? So tell us a little bit, like, you're coming up to your 90th day with us towards the end of the month. How do you like imagine your future has like changed the trajectory? Like, what does that look like for you than what it looked like before?
It's so funny because I feel like my future is bigger than I've ever thought it would be with like how busy I am and how booked out I am. And mind you, this is all without even running my extension ad yet. I just feel like I have to put that out there. I've literally only done 3 ads, and just what I've seen from that. So I was talking to you about it today. I'm just what the future has in store, especially once I start running my extension ads. I just think it's going to be insane. I think it's going to be everything that I ever wanted when I started doing hair, which is just like, I'm so grateful for. I just think that's so beautiful and wonderful. And it's like dreams come true.
Oh my
You can actually make
gosh.
these things happen. It's like, it's crazy to me. It's just, yeah, I never thought I would be where I'm going, So
I'm like really so happy to see you here. I like could cry a
I
little
know I
bit.
got a little emotional there. I was like, I feel like I could cry right now.
Yeah.
Like in a good way. Good tears, happy tears.
Yeah, the happiest of tears,
Yeah.
really. So for anyone else who's like watching this, who's maybe sitting on the fence and maybe feeling like, I don't know if I've got what it takes, like I don't love social media, like I don't want to do this, I don't think it's going to help me. Like, what would you like say to them? Anyone, like any advice or any words of wisdom to help somebody else?
I would say you have to stepping outside of your comfort zone is where you grow. And I feel like the scariest things in life are the ones that are worthwhile. So, I mean, even when I started this, yeah, me with social media, I wasn't sure about it. And now I could smack that girl in the face because it's just like a completely different thing. It's like, try it out. You do have to put the work in, like everybody says, like, especially in the beginning, but it's so, so worth it. It pays off. Every little thing that you guys teach us, like having the calendar, marking out the time to do this, and affirmations and going through the scripts. And it's so unbelievably beneficial. It's just, you have to dive in, you have to do it. Don't overthink it. Just go for it and sit back and see the results, but not
Yeah.
really sit back because you got to work.
No, exactly. I feel like with one of our last students, Ashley, who just did a testimonial with us, like, her quote was, the strength is in the hustle, right?
Ooh,
So it's
I
like,
like that.
yeah, if you can come in, if you can hustle, right? If you can focus on the process, then
Mhm.
the results will come. But if you're always finding the time to like chase the results, it's like you're kind of missing the thing that really needs the work that will
Totally.
attract the
And I
result.
think you have to fall in love with the process. I started falling in love with it. Like I would come home after work and I would work on my business. I would get on my computer, I would do ads, I'd be reaching out doing organic marketing, and I actually really loved it. I felt better about myself. I felt more accomplished. I wasn't just coming home and being lazy or, it just, you have to put the work in, but it works. It's, you're not doing it for no reason. It does pay off. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And
you gotta
it goes
follow.
back to like setting that intention. You were setting more intention just with your time, just through the time
Totally.
blocking exercise and being like, cool, like I obviously have this time and I'm not utilizing it. So is this choice getting me closer to my goal? Like, no, like what could I be
Totally.
doing that's getting me closer to my goal? And when then you start to see the results that come from those efforts, it's like, oh my gosh, like
Yeah.
it's hard not to fall in love with something like
It's
that.
true. It's true. And I feel like I saw other people's testimonials with this program, and you're kind of skeptical. It's kind of like, well, like, is that a long shot? How often does that happen? And then like it happens to you and you're like, holy cow, like this does work. Like everything that people are saying, it's all true. It's just, it's beautiful. It's wonderful.
I
Fill
know.
your
Did
books
you
is awesome.
imagine that you were going to be one of our testimonials, like sharing
No,
your experience?
absolutely not. Absolutely not. When you said you wanted to do a testimonial, I was like, really?
It's
So
so funny how we can like have our heads down, because I feel like you had your head down, you're like in the thing, and then you like pop up and you're like, oh my gosh, like September
totally.
30th, I just made my first $1,000 day. Like, hey
Yeah.
guys, you know?
Yeah, that was so crazy. Yeah. And like I said, it keeps happening now. And it seems, I felt like I was probably doing like money wise, like I felt like my average was more around like 400 a day. And now
Mm,
it's like, if I don't hit $700, it's a weird day. So I'm
yeah.
like anywhere between 7 and 1,000 daily. And that's double what I was doing before. And this is in 2 months time. So I can only imagine what this is going to look like 2 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now. I think it's just, oh, it's only going up and I'm so excited. It's
I'm
amazing.
so excited and happy for you. And this was all within like the time you did a price increase too, where often I
Mhm.
feel like there's a lot of fear around that because we're afraid of losing people and then having no one. And I feel like, and maybe you can speak to this, like that the difference in that feeling of doing price increases now versus maybe before, because you have a little bit more certainty in your process.
Well, yeah, I just feel like too, that just comes with confidence. I feel like people are afraid of price increase, but that's on us. It's not like my clients are happy to pay my increase because they know my value. Like they
Yeah.
make me feel better about it. Like I said before, I even had clients in the past being like, why aren't you charging more? And so like that makes me feel better about it too. And honestly, I haven't lost any of my clients with my increase. Sometimes maybe like a new client won't want to pay that, but then I get another message from an ad and somebody else is filling that spot anyway. So it's just do it. People will pay for it. And I find that people feel better when they pay good money for their services. Like I hear my clients like bragging to their friends about how much they spent on their hair because they feel good about it. They're like, I spent a good amount of money, I have a good product from it, and they feel great about it. So
Yeah. And I mean, that's all in like, that's where we come, like us as stylists come in. It's like, we have to make sure that we're delivering on the technical side and giving them that experience that really does match that. And I think that that is a big piece of it that you can't overlook, right? The
totally.
connection with those people all starts with like communication and that conversation. And that's really what we really base everything off of, is how do we start building relationships that aren't just like surface level, right? We want to root in deeper, because
Yeah.
those are the people that kind of stay with us longer. It's like you can hit a storm and have a price increase, but they're rooted, they're here,
Yeah.
they're in
Totally.
it, and
Yeah.
it can be uncomfortable putting yourself out there. It could be uncomfortable, meeting new people. But if you meet them and you are digging deep and you're trying to build an authentic relationship and connection with people, you only have to do that so many times. And you have your like
So true.
lifelong clients that are just like with you through whatever, and
Yeah.
ah,
That's true.
it's so awesome. I love seeing this like, shift, this like the transition, this transformation, I guess I should say, from, 60 days ago to like
That's
now.
crazy.
And this takes some people like that 2 years instead of 2 months. You know what I mean? To like
Wow.
even
Yeah.
start, you know what I mean? If you put it in
Yeah.
perspective, you've made a lot of gain. I mean, to have had an average of 400 for a day, and you're hitting now your $1,000 days with feeling weird if it's any less than 700. I mean, that is a big chunk of growth right there. That's
Yeah.
300 extra dollars per day. We're not even talking
Yeah.
per week. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. It's
So
insane. Yeah, I'm
I'm so happy.
forever grateful and blessed, like every day. That's part of my gratitude moments. Or
Yeah.
it's just like my clients and like this program and figuring this all out. It's just, yeah, it's been amazing.
Well, I'm so grateful for you. And thank you so much for sharing your story with us and
Of
taking
course.
a moment and to be a testimonial, which you never thought you would be. I
Never.
always thought, just for the record, but
Never saw it happening.
If you guys are watching and you're interested in even just finding out a little bit more about what this looks like, what the conversation is, what the investment is, go fill out an application on FillYourBooks.com online. Just take the leap. It doesn't hurt to find out the information about it. Plant the seed in your own head. Know that you're worth investing in yourself, because if you are really ready to make it work for you, like you can 100% be like Megan. Like she didn't even think that she
So
would be
true.
here today. You know what I mean? And here
Very
she
true.
is. So
Yeah.
I appreciate you once again for sharing your story. Thank you everybody for watching, and we'll
Thank
see you in the next
you.
one.